Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Monday, October 16th, 2023. Welcome to day 1000. A federal judge imposed a narrow gag order on Trump, restricting him from attacking witnesses, prosecutors, and court staff involved in his election subversion case. Judge Tanya Chutkin said, "This is not about whether I like the language Mr. Trump uses. This is about language that presents a danger to the administration of justice. His presidential candidacy does not give him carte blanche to vilify public servants who are simply doing their jobs." The judge did not specify how she would enforce the gag order, but said that she would address any consequences if and when Trump violated it. Before the order was even issued, Trump's attorney said they would appeal the ruling. Prosecutors had argued that a gag order was necessary to protect the integrity of judicial proceedings. Trump is facing 4 felony charges in connection with what prosecutors call a criminal scheme to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election by enlisting a slate of so-called fake electors, using the Justice Department to conduct sham election crime investigations, trying to enlist Mike Pence to alter the election results, and promoting false claims of a stolen election as the January 6th riot raged. The gag order does not extend to Trump's 3 other pending criminal trials for election obstruction in Georgia, classified documents in Florida, or hush money payments during the 2016 campaign in New York. Moving on, the Biden administration reached a settlement with the more than 4,000 migrants who were separated from their families at the U.S. Mexico border by the Trump administration. Under the proposed agreement, the federal government would be prohibited from using the zero-tolerance prosecution policy that it used to separate migrant families crossing the border for 8 years. The settlement would also provide temporary benefits to separated families, such as housing aid, work permits, health care, and would allow them to apply for asylum again. In total, more than 4,000 children were separated from their families, including 290 children who were U.S. citizens, under the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy. Roughly 1,000 children are still separated from their parents. Meanwhile, Joe Biden warned Israel that occupying Gaza would be a big mistake, but added that taking out the extremists is a necessary requirement. Israel's defense minister told the U.S. to brace for a long war against Hamas, and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu denied reporting that the Rafah border crossing with Egypt would reopen as a temporary humanitarian corridor. More than 1 million people, roughly half of Gaza's total population, have been displaced since the Israeli military declared a complete siege on Gaza in retaliation for the October 7th attack by Hamas. The World Health Organization and the United Nations have warned that Gaza faces an imminent public health crisis as Gaza is running out of food and water. Hospitals are expected to run out of fuel within 24 hours. And finally, Jim Jordan will force a House vote on Tuesday as part of his bid for Speaker after winning the support of several key Republican skeptics. Representatives Mike Rogers and Ann Wagner were both hard-nosed when it came to Jordan last week, but both have now publicly endorsed Jordan, and so has Ken Calvert and Vern Buchanan. Jordan needs to win at least 217 votes to become the new speaker in a chamber that is narrowly divided between 221 Republicans and 212 Democrats. He still faces an uphill climb to be elected speaker and can only lose 4 Republicans if every member votes. The House has been without a permanent speaker for nearly 2 weeks after 8 Republicans sided with Democrats and voted to remove Kevin McCarthy. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.